Management, Unit 1. This Unit 1 covers the conceptual framework of international logistics and supply chain management. So friends, today's contents are meaning and concept of international logistics supply chain management. What are the objectives, characteristics, principles of logistics and supply chain management? Then we will study 7R framework. Then we will discuss the key tasks of logistics and supply chain management. Last, we will discuss about the push and pull approach of logistics and supply chain management. These are the contents. After completion of this class, you are able to understand all these concepts or contents. So friends, before going to the discussion, let us know why we will study the international logistics and supply chain management. Definitely it is a common question comes to our mind. Why we will study? Is there any benefit of studying this chapter or unit or this subject? As you know, to survive in a competitive environment, in the era of LPG, the importance of international logistics and supply chain management is more. There are different regions for which we will study the international logistics and supply chain management. Number one is global business expansion. You know, companies operate across multiple countries, requiring efficient movement of goods, service, and information. So to understand, by understanding the international logistics helps business expand into new markets very smoothly. Number 2 point, cost efficiency and profitability. As you know, in every organization, it is the key factor how to reduce the cost or efficiently reduce the cost and increase the profit. So effective supply chain management reduces cost by optimizing the inventory, transportation, and warehousing. It also helps the business to minimize the waste and improve overall profitability. Number 3 point, risk management and resilience. As you know, international trade involves risks like political instability, natural disasters, supplier failures. Studying supply chain management helps in creating the contingency plan and ensuring business continuity. So, other reasons are technological advancement. As you know, with the AI, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and automation transforming logistics, professionals with knowledge of this technology have a competitive edge. And digital supply chains improve the transparency and efficiency. Next point is sustainability and ethical sourcing. Sustainability, you know, it is a buzzword now. Companies must comply with the environmental regulations and ethical sourcing practices. Understanding the green logistics and sustainable supply chains helps business to reduce their carbon footprint. So it is also another reason to study supply chain management. Another is, most important is your career opportunities. There is a high demand for supply chain professionals in industries like e-commerce, manufacturing, and retail. The job roles include supply chain manager, logistic coordinator, procurement specialist, operations manager. If you want to achieve this position, this subject, international logistics and supply chain management, is a major area you have to explore your knowledge. So for all these reasons, we have to study the international logistics and supply chain management. Okay. Then another point you can say, for your, as it is one of your course curriculum, you are also studying this. Next comes to our contents. First part, the meaning and concept of logistic and supply chain management. Logistics and supply chain management. The term logistics comes from the Greek word logistics, which means the science of computing and calculating. In the military sense, Webster defines logistics as the procurement, maintenance, and transportation of military materials, facilities, and personnel. Accordingly, supply chain management can also be defined as it is an external integration of interrelated functions of the firm with its customers, vendors, and all third-party logistics service providers who contribute in the flow of goods like raw materials, semi-finished and finished products. And information from the point of inception to the point of consumption with the objective of ensuring superior value to all stakeholders. So this is the meaning and concept part. Then comes to what are the different objectives of logistics and supply chain management. As you know, everything has some objectives. So what are the objectives of logistics and supply chain management? One objective is rapid response. What is that rapid response? It is concerned with the organization's ability to satisfy customer service requirements in a timely manner. That means when the customer wants, we have to immediately solve that problem. That means it is concerned with the organization's ability to satisfy the customer service requirements in a timely manner. Second is minimum variance. The variance should not be more, it should be minimum. Minimum variance is the best suitable for the organizations in providing better services to the customers. If variance will be more, definitely our service will not be effective. Next is minimum inventory. What is that minimum inventory? We have to reduce inventory deployment to the lowest level consistent with customer service goals to achieve the lowest overall total logistics cost needs to be implemented. So two key factors we have to keep in mind. One is the lowest cost and lowest level of consistent with the customer service goal. Next objective is quality improvement. Quality improvement is a continuous process. We cannot say in a single day we can improve the quality, or we can maintain the quality in one day or in a 1 hour. It is a continuous process. And if one defect occurs in the international logistics, then it will multiply several times. A single defect bears a great loss for the organizations. Next objective is life cycle support. What is this objective? Organizations should focus on providing life cycle support. To whom? Not to the customers, so that the product provided to the customers gets back to the company in the most efficient way and manner. See, efficient way. If you want to prove yourself in an efficient way, we have to focus on providing the life cycle support to the customers. So till now we have discussed how many objectives? One is your rapid response, minimum variance, minimum inventory, quality improvement, life cycle support. Next characteristics. Let us discuss about the characteristics. What are the different characteristics of logistic and supply chain management? There are so many characteristics. One is flexibility. What is that flexibility? Organizations should try to work effectively and efficiently while considering customers' perception and other business framework scenarios. As you know, Flexibility is one of the important characteristics of the every organizations in logistics and supply chain management. It should try to work effectively and efficiently. See, continuously we are discussing about the word effectively and efficiently. Friends, you know what is that word effectively and efficiently? I am giving an example. Suppose a student secured 90% mark in accounting and he or she is not able to understand the balance sheet of Infosys, which is already produced in the annual reports. He may secure 90% mark. He is an intelligent but not effective if he will not understand the balance sheet of that particular company. In opposite side, a student secures 60% mark or 50% mark in accounting and is clearly able to understand the balance sheet of Infosys, then we can say that candidate, that student is effective. He may not be so many intelligent than the previous guy, but he is very effective. So in every organizations, everyone needs the effective personnel. Then comes to technology. Updated technology play a primary role in the success of the companies. Update technology, you know, day by day the technology is upgrading, so it takes a primary role in the success of the companies. Third characteristic is experience. International logistics is one of the important technique or tool to serve customers in a better and a new way. So companies should provide good experience to customers with the help of international logistics. Fourth object characteristics is time oriented. Time, you know, it is very valuable factor or characteristics. Organizations should try to deliver desired products. Desired by whom? Desired by the customers. Desired products in the time oriented manner at the doorstep of the customers. If one customer order for suppose 7th of the February to deliver or to get this product and we are delivering on 10th, then it is not time oriented. So everybody, all the organizations, all the personnel should be time oriented. Next is human resource. You know, there are different resources are there, but human resource is the basic platform on which entire international logistics framework is based. So how many characteristics we have covered till now? One is flexibility, technology, experience, time oriented, then human resource. So after that, let us discuss what are the principles of logistics and supply chain management. Principles, you know, these are some guidelines, these are some laws, these are some rules upon which logistics and supply chain management based. What are the different principles? One is superior customer value. Please remember, superior customer value. The ultimate objective of logistics and supply chain is to fulfill customers' requirements in cost efficient manner as well as in a better way than the rivals. Second principle is single entity. Entity. What do you mean by entity? Entity means these are the specific business activity or unit. Single entity logistic and supply chain is all about inter and intra firms process integration. Inter-firm and intra-firm, I am repeating that, inter-firm and intra-firm process integration that requires a variety of planning and control mechanism across the supply chain network. For this purpose, it is always viewed as a single entity. It is not multiple entity. It is single entity. Number 3 principle, inventory perspective. As you know, logistic and supply chain in its correct concept views inventory in a perspective of speedy flow and a buffer to be used as a last resort after ensuring proper information sharing and coordination. So proper information sharing and coordination is required for the inventory perspective. Fourth principle is strategic orientation. What are the different strategic orientation? The orientation of decisions in the supply chain is viewed strategically rather than viewing it as operational one. Strategy, it is a very important term or thing. Please remember, the orientation of decisions in the supply chain is viewed strategically. It is very planned way, strategic way, rather than viewing it as operational one. So we should give much more focus on the strategy. Next principle, outsourcing versus insourcing. Out of total activities, which activities should be undertaken in-house and remaining should be given to outside firms. Some are in-house and some are outside, who have better capability and expertise to do some more efficient and effective ways. Friends, you know, continuously we are discussing these two words, efficient and effective ways. How it is possible? If we will follow some principles, some guidelines. Next principle is flexible approach. What is that flexible approach principle tells? You know, nowadays or today's logistics and supply chains are designed for flexibility in all the process of the farm's system, starting from procurement to manufacturing to warehousing, where it is being stored, to delivery, which plays a very important part in improving the customer's service. So in this, we have to adopt a flexible approach, starting from procurement to manufacturing to warehousing to delivery. Everywhere we have to adopt the flexible approach. Next principle, system approach for global optimization. Global efforts are made to optimize the local system with the global linkage so that proper logistics framework should be designed in a better way. Otherwise, if you not link with the global, then we cannot design in a better way. So these are the different principles of the logistics and supply chain management. Now comes to most important part of this supply chain management concept, 7R framework. What is that 7R framework? You can attentively listen this. What is 7R framework? One of the predominantly used postulation of the international logistics supply chain management is the concept of 7R framework. 7R framework is one of the predominantly used postulation of the international logistics supply chain management. It is very essential to follow It is one of the vital framework or important framework the logistics and supply chain management continuously follows. As you know, in today's complex business scenarios where organizations are considering the whole global world as one market. After in the era of LPG, the whole global world we are considering as one market. So many challenges are there, so many opportunities are there also. As you know, to survive in a competitive and in the era of LPG, 7R framework provides a handy tool in the framework of companies as how to attend customers in a more effective and efficient manner. So how we can handle all these logistics supply chain, we have to adopt the 7R framework. Otherwise, it is very difficult for all of us as a operation manager, as a finance manager, as a manager in general to maintain the efficacy or efficiency in every organization. So what are that 7R framework? Let us know. 7R, that means there are 7 terms, 7 points which are starting from the word, from the letter R. So number 1 is right product. What I told, right product. That means the product that the consumer obliges at the moment or in the future. Again I am repeating, right product. What is that right product? What is known as right product? The product that the consumer obliges at the moment or in the future. The consumer wants particular in this moment or in future. For an example, mobile phones, tablets, HTV, etc. So first R is right product. So after right product, second is another R is right place. First product is over. Second, right place. What is that right place? Right place is where the customer wants its product to be delivered. What I told? Right place is where the customer wants its product to be delivered. That means where the customer wants the product should be delivered. That particular place, right place. Example, Dell follows this concept to reach out to its customer at the right place. Data is collected from its website and Dell ensures that the right product is ordered by the customer. So like Dell, other companies, we also give importance to that right place. So till now we have covered, one is right product, second is right place, third is quantity, right quantity. You know, it is a very important and vital for organizations to find out the accurate capacity of the product required to be produced of the demand of the product for less operating cost and better profits. Friends, you know how better profits is possible if our operating cost will be less. So it is very, very important for all the organizations, irrespective of the sector, irrespective of the uh, everywhere. It is very, very important to find out the accurate capacity of the product required to be produced, of the demand of the product for less operating cost and better profits. Suppose demand is not more, but we are producing so many products. What will happen? Ultimately, we will suffer. We cannot generate the better profit. In opposite side, suppose demand is more, but we are not producing sufficient products. Quantity is very less, so we cannot meet the customer's demand. Ultimately, our demand will fall in the market. We cannot also generate profits, because ultimate objective of all the organizations to maximize the profit or to maximize the shareholders' wealth. So how it is possible? From where the revenue will be generated? It is from where we can get better profits. So right quantity is also another, or we can say, out of 7 framework, one is your right product, one is right place, third is right quantity. Till now we have discussed till right quantity. Then comes to right condition. What is that right condition? The condition, what is the condition? The item for consumption ought to be in the right condition. The condition should be very perfect. The condition should be very good. So the item for consumption of any product or good, that ought to be right condition. You can take the example of Samsung. Samsung should certify that the mobile phones should be delivered in the right condition, not only to the customer but to dealer also. It is not meant for only customer. The dealers are also the customers for the company. So it may be the dealers, may be customer, but the condition of the product should be right. Right means perfect, or should be acceptable by the customers or end users. So as this is very important, 4 R till now we have discussed. One is right product. Second is right place. Third is right quantity. Fourth is right condition. Number 5 R is right time. Because right time is about delivering the product to the people at the right time. Many companies like Amazon, Flipkart have tied with different delivery partners to deliver the product to their customer at the right time. You can take example of yourself also. If you have ordered a particular product and you are not able to get that in a right time, do you think you can further order, you can faith to that particular agencies or companies? I think it will be absolutely no. So right time is one of the another important R among the 7 R framework. Next comes to right customer. Right customer, but what are the right customer? It is of utmost importance that the right product reaches the right customer. The companies produce the standard product and add different characteristics to it according to the increase in demand of the customers. For an example, a local ketchup producer may sell in big cans to bulk consumers, whereas it can sell in small packets to local retailers also. So do you understand? There are six R we have discussed. Like we have covered what are the right product, right place, right quantity, right condition, right time, right customer. Last is right cost. Right cost refers to appropriate price for the product manufactured by the company or the night value to achieve all of the above. This is the right cost. Right cost is also another important R, which refers to appropriate price for the product manufactured by the company or the night value to achieve all of the above. So till now we have covered all the 7R. This is one of the important framework, 7R framework. This is known as 7R framework. Let us recall what are the 7Rs. One is right product. Second is right place. Third is right quantity. Fourth is right condition. Fifth is right time. Sixth, right customer. Seven, right cost. These are the 7R framework of the logistics and supply chain management. Then comes to what are the key tasks of logistics and supply chain managers. You know, the task of a logistic and supply chain managers is very, very important and crucial for the success of the logistics and supply chain management. So who is a supply chain manager or who is a logistic and supply chain manager? At first we have to know. A logistic manager is a professional. He is very professional and self-motivated individual in an organization. Logistics managers are very professional and self-motivated individual in an organization, which generally responsible for the overall supply chain management of goods and services. A logistic manager is a very professional, self-motivated individual in an organization who is generally responsible for the overall supply chain management of goods and services. Logistics managers manage the entire order cycle to enhance business development and ensure sustainability and customer satisfaction. So who is a logistic manager? One is he's a professional person, he's a self-motivated individual, and that supply chain manager or logistic manager responsible for overall supply chain management of goods and services. Also, he manages the entire order cycle to enhance the business development and ensure sustainability and customer satisfaction. So now let us know what are the key tasks of a logistic and supply chain managers. One task is supervision of shipping. What is that task? Supervision of shipping. As we know, logistics manager are responsible for the management of shipping of the various products and services in an organization, some of the functions in the shipping department are as follows. What are the different things are there? One is that logistic manager must work along with the drivers. That logistic manager should focus on route optimization, route, how to optimize the route. Also, he or she must review the performance metrics and exceed customer service expectation. Again, I am repeating. Number one key task is supervision of shipping. You know, these logistics managers are responsible for the management of shipping of the various products and services in an organization. So the function in the shipping department are like the managers or logistic managers must work along with drivers. They should focus on route optimization, how to optimize the route. They should review the performance metrics. It should not exceed the customer service expectations. How to the expectation of the customers should exceed. These are the different functions in the shipping department, which is clearly or which is viewed by the logistic managers. Second key task is supply chain activities. What are the supply chain activities? Supply chain activities consist of collaborating with teams. There should be a collaboration with the team members. For what? For different inbound and outbound transportation of projects, which require high coordination. To whom? Now, with the various service providers. Please listen attentively. Supply chain activities consist of collaborating with the teams of different inbound and outbound transportation projects that require high coordination with various service providers, because you know, in an organization so many service providers are there, so there must be a high coordination is required with the various service providers. Logistics managers have to ensure that the completion of projects should be done under the budget. It is also another factor. Everything, all the activities should be completed within the budget. It should not be exceed the budget also. So two important tasks, key tasks we have discussed. One is supervision of shipping. Second is supply chain activities. Third key task, inventory management, stock management, inventory management. Logistics managers spend their valuable time in supervising the supply of raw materials required in manufacturing plants to support the production. Again, I am repeating, inventory management or stock management. In these tasks, all the logistic managers should spend their valuable time for what? In supervising the supply of raw materials required in manufacturing plants to support the production. Unless and until the raw material will not supply in a sufficient or in a timely manner, the manufacturing may hamper. So to have a flawless production, to have a continuous production, the logistic managers should give valuable time to supervise the raw materials requirement also. Next key task is distribution center supervision. Logistic managers in some organizations may perform as a head of distribution, shipping, and receiving departments. They may provide their supervision in picking, packing for kept operation employees. They may be assigned to big warehouse and a large number of warehouse personnel. So distribution of center supervision is also another key task of the supply chain or logistic managers. Next is supply chain managers. Is a person who is responsible for the management of equipment, hardware, and all other logical details of a company or a company's vertical. You know, in every company there is a vertical. So accordingly, you have to follow that vertical, because in a vertical, in a organization structure, there must be a vertical. One is in top position, then there is some under him there are some personnel are working, then under them also some personnel are working. So there must be a proper vertical system is followed by the logistic managers or supply chain managers. Then again I am repeating that what are the key tasks of a logistic manager. Please remember, one is supervision of shipping. What I told? Supervision of shipping. I am just recalling the key task briefly. One is supervision of shipping. Second is supply chain activities. Third is inventory management. Fourth is distribution center supervision. Fifth is supply chain managers. Have you remembered? Okay. Then please come to know what are the tasks of a supply chain manager. First we have discussed the key task of a logistic manager, then task of a supply chain manager. One of the key tasks is enhance customer service. You know, customer is the king. So we have to enhance the customer service. We have to enhance the customer service. How? Already we have discussed. To enhance the customer service, we have to follow the 7R. We have to meet the customer's demand. Everything is coming under that 7R also. We can link with this also. How to enhance the customer service? A supply chain manager always give the valuable time how to enhance the customer service. After customer service, another task is to enhance the product value. You know, nowadays all the customers generally prefers the value of the product, quality of the product. So we should enhance that quality of the product, value of the product. Third is the task of the supply chain manager, it is to reduce the product cost. You have to reduce the product cost. Why? Because if you are not able to reduce the product cost, your profit will be less. If your product cost will be more, the profit will be less. So by hook or crook, that means, see, only reduce the product cost is not the solution. We have to focus how to enhance the customer service, how to enhance the product value. Then we can think about how to reduce the product cost. Fourth task of a supply chain manager, enhance the financial flow. My dear, financial flow is also another key task of a supply chain manager. What is that financial flow? There are some cash inflows and some cash outflows are there. So financial flow, when it is possible, if the organization's profit, if the organization's products demand, everything will be more, then financial flow will be enhanced. So see, all are interlinked. If you will not enhance the customer service, you cannot enhance the financial flow. If you are not able to enhance the product value, you cannot enhance the financial flow. If you cannot reduce the product cost, also you cannot enhance the financial flow. All are interlinked. So we can say, to have a best supply chain manager, the following tasks we have to maintain. The following tasks a supply chain manager must have to follow. One is enhanced customer service, enhanced product value, reduce the product cost, enhance the financial flow. Last is support marketing strategy. Another point, it is support marketing strategy. As a supply chain manager, we have to support the marketing strategies. What are the marketing strategies? Under the marketing strategies, so many things are coming. Suppose your branding, positioning, and different type of advertisement, sales promotion strategies, everything. You have to support. Unless and until you will support, you cannot generate the revenues for the organizations. As you are a supply chain manager, all these tasks should have followed very carefully and implement very in a good manner. So what are the key tasks? One is enhance customer service. Second is enhance the product value. Third is how to reduce the product cost. Enhance the financial flow. Then support marketing strategies. Clear? Then next concept is push and pull approaches to supply chain management. Friends, till now we have covered different characteristics, principles, objectives, then the different task, role of the logistic and supply chain managers. But there are different approaches are there in the supply chain management. Among them, push and pull approach there are two important supply chain management approach. In the push strategy, then let us know what is that push strategy. In the push strategy, push means, what is the meaning of push? Push strategy companies generally prefers to communicate its potential consumers through their network of buyers, through selective personnel and limited networked media. I am again repeating, please remember everybody and try to understand this is the two important approaches. One is your push approach, another is your pull approach. It is a very common word, push and pull. In this push strategy, companies generally prefers to communicate its potential consumer. Who are the potential? You know, potential loyal. They are the loyal consumers. They are the your one of you can say they are your brand consumers or customers. In the push strategy, companies generally prefers to communicate its potential consumers through their network of buyers. Buyers means your customers. How? Through selective personnel and a limited networked media. You may just communicate through different personnel or the networked media. So in this push strategy also, they negotiate. They means the different supply chain managers or logistic managers, they negotiate with their immediate customer about the terms of trade, transaction, delivery, and payment to bring attention and special interest in such offerings to achieve the commercial objectives. So what happens here in this push strategy? Generally, the managers or supply chain managers negotiate with their immediate customer. You know there is immediate customer. That means just after the companies or the managers who are the immediate customers about the terms of trade. What are the different terms of that particular trade? About the transaction, about the delivery and payment to bring attention and special interest in such offerings to achieve the commercial objectives. So on the basis of such negotiation, there is physical flow of products and services. On the basis of such negotiation, there is a physical flow of products and services. And under this kind of system or under this push approaches, the firm makes supply chain system supply driven. It should be supply driven. That means where production and distribution systems are coordinated truly on long-term forecast and firm's objectives. So this push strategy, in a nutshell, we can say it prefers to communicate its potential consumers through the selective personnel and limited network area. It also negotiates with their immediate customers about the terms of trade, transactions, delivery and payment to bring attention and special interest. And there is a physical flow of products and services also occurs. Under this system also, the firm makes supply chain system supply driven, where are supply driven, where the production and distribution systems are coordinated truly on long-term forecast and firm's objectives. It should be long-term. The forecast should be long-term. That means long-term means it is not meant for 1 day, 1 month or 1 year. The forecast should link with the objectives of the firm. Then comes to pull strategy. Pull strategy you understood the push strategy, then comes to pull strategy. There are two important approaches. One is push approach, another is pull approach. In the pull strategy, companies prefer to communicate its potential consumers through mass media by preaching attributes of their offerings to bring attention and special interest in such offerings for the achievement of commercial objectives. Friends, let us recall, in the pull strategy, companies prefer to communicate its potential consumers, through mass media by preaching attributes of their offerings to bring attention and special interest in such offerings for the achievement of commercial objectives. Based on such commercial message, potential consumers negotiate with vendors about terms of trade, transactions, and delivery. On the basis of such negotiation, there is physical flow of products and services. This system of the firm makes supply chain demand driven, where production and distribution systems are based on coordinated consumer demand data. So in the ideal pull scenario, the firm is not required to hold any inventory, and supply chain system is solely based on make to order philosophy. What I told? Make to order philosophy. So there are two approaches we have discussed till now. One is your push approach, another is your pull approach. So in this push approach and pull approach, the logistic management or the logistic and supply chain management also follows these two important approaches, that is your push strategy and your pull strategy. So friends, till now there are different things we have covered. What are things we have covered? One is your meaning, then meaning and concept, objectives. Then we have discussed the different principles, characteristics. Then most important 7R framework we have discussed. Also we have discussed the role and tasks of a supply chain manager and logistic manager. Everything we have discussed, and also at last we have discussed the different approaches of push and pull strategies. So I hope this is about your today's session. I hope this session you have learned something about the logistic and supply chain management, which will help you in your career as well as in your future endeavor. So this is about my session. Thank you all. Thank you.